much more local experience.
Hey, the Neighborhood News Tour is on the road again, this time in the Neighborhood of the Arts in Rochester. Where is that, you ask?
Yes.
Well, we asked Doug Emblidge, who is down there now.
Well, it's funny, you know, when I first heard we were coming here too, I said, well, I'm not sure I know where that is, although I think we all have an idea. You think the Memorial Art Gallery, maybe the Eastman House and all that, and if you thought that, you'd be absolutely right. They came up with the name about 7 years ago, Don. We're in Village Gate, which is kind of in the heart of what is now called the Neighborhood of the Arts. It is a cross between a mall and an artist studio, all kinds of very specialty shops and fun places to go and eat and drink. The neighborhood itself is bordered by Alexander Street and Culver Road and East Avenue and East Main Street. This area has an interesting history. The first house was built on East Avenue back in 1838. It is now home to the Rochester Historical Society, which will be renovated soon. About 4,700 people live in what is called the Neighborhood of the Arts, and the Village Gate has some interesting history of its own. It was previously the home of the largest printing company in the world. One of the things they're talking about in this neighborhood this year is a local church's plan to relocate right across the street. The church is hoping the new place will better fit its needs. But relocating means knocking down the building where they are now. And some people want that building to stay put. This church is one of the oldest neighbors here. It was built back in 1887 as a Baptist mission.
The historical importance of this building for this neighborhood it was one of the first buildings built. It was a mission, so when there were no churches nearby, it was where people would go to congregate.
For over 30 years, members of the Prayer House Church of God by Faith have worshiped here. But with 200 people in their congregation, they're running out of room. And the room they have is in need of repair.
Well, as you can see, the floor is really shaky. When you walk across, it's shaking now. And we have repaired the floor. We have repaired so many things in this building. We spent a lot of money in this building trying to keep it going. And there come a point in time you can't spend no more money. You're just like wasting money.
Church leaders want to tear down and start over across the street. The Neighborhood Association wants to save the building and have it designated a landmark.
It blends right in with the architecture of the neighborhood. You'll see that it's not a massive stone structure, it's not a monument, and this is fairly unique in the city to have buildings remaining like this.
But the church says the building is not in its original state.
We had to add a wing, a west wing on, because the reason why we needed more room.
Both groups agree they want the church to stay in the neighborhood.
Because we love this neighborhood. We are needed in this neighborhood. We're helping in the neighborhood. The church is really needed in a neighborhood.
And so two sides of the story. The matter will come up before the Preservation Board on the 6th of August. That is our neighborhood news tour for tonight, Donna. Not a bad place to be. Friday night in July on a warm night in the Neighborhood of the Arts. It's a vibrant place, a great place to visit if you don't already live here.
We had a couple calls, people looking behind you thought you were at Mount Rushmore.
You know what, and Ginny asked about that statue too, and we tried to do some research to find out who it was, and the only answer we got, and this is what someone told us, is that it is indeed a statue of you. That's what they told us.
Well, better to dump on me than other people that we've on neighborhood, so we'll leave it at that.
You should come down and see it.
Thank you, Doug.
All right.